Good morning, everyone. It is Friday. It is training day. And today's training is mommy issues, parent issues. And 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. You can always join me for the replays. They're featured. My podcast is The Playbook. Download it, save it, share it. Give it a thumbs up, like it. And then get it on Spotify, Entrepreneur, every platform. Good morning, everyone. It's training day. We have a new breakfast club. If you are not on Clubhouse, you got to join our Breakfast of Champions, 6 a.m. Pacific time. Every Friday, it's a warm-up to our training at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Every Friday, all the replays are on the playbook. Join me. I don't know where Team David Meltzer is, but if you want to get a hold of me, it's david@dmeltzer.com. And you can join my text community, 949-298-2905. Jake, maybe you can pin that up there for me, my friend. I really would appreciate it. We got some mommy issue training. I've never done one about mommy issues before, but we're going to do it this Friday. Dave Grootman on Tuesday was on fire. Thank you. You liked it? Good. Star Candy, welcome. Colleen, thank you. Hey, there they are. There he is. We'll pin that up there. David@dmeltzer.com. Or join my text community, 949-298-2905. All right, let's get these questions rolling. Is Clubhouse worth getting an iPhone? Absolutely. I got 2 iPhones, one for Clubhouse and one for IG Live. So absolutely worth getting an iPhone for Clubhouse. I think it's the most powerful platform. It's like a live podcast coaching session. It's incredible. So love to see you on there. Breakfast of Champions, 6 a.m. Check out. I'll be in and out of rooms daily, but really enjoy that show with the Breakfast of Champions. We had Deshaun Jackson on there, Grant Cardone, Amelia Antonetti, JT Fox, just to name a few. Oh, Maury was on there as well. David Meltzer, David@dmeltzer.com. But training is mommy issues today. Let's keep this going. Sorry. I get distracted. I apologize. What's something new you learned this week? What new did I learn this week? So many things are going through my head. I think the Clubhouse, that the hat on a Clubhouse meant your new Clubhouse issues, how to manage my time in Clubhouse, mostly Clubhouse stuff. I've learned this week. Wow, it keeps on coming. What's your favorite part of the week? Every day is my favorite day because I'm learning to love everything I do, and every day is my favorite day. There is no favorite part of my week. Every single day, my perspective is I'm learning to love what I do and enjoy that consistently, persistently every day. So do the same. Every day is the best part of your week, and it should be. It's all mindset and heart set. How do I flip my first home? Find a buyer to buy your home for more money than you bought it for. Literally, I pre-sell things in flipping situations. I at least know the market well enough to know the market point that I'm going to hit in order to flip something. So if I see something is selling all day long at $6 and I can buy it for $3, I buy it at $3 and I flip it. Same with the house. So know the market. I get mentorship on the market from that area. And exactly. How do you stay so positive? I spend minutes and moments where most people spend days, weeks, and months. I spend minutes and moments in ego-based consciousness where most people spend days, weeks, and months, and even years. I spent minutes and moments in avoidance, in resistance, in interference, in all of those different things that create that stress that gets in the way of what I'm always connected to, that positivity, the light, the love, and the lessons that we all should be a part of. Best thing you've read recently? My lesson in A Course in Miracles today is the best thing that I've read recently. It was very, very powerful lesson today about putting meaning into what we see. So it's amazing the purpose of what we see and who's inside of what we see, inside of it. A table, a chair, all have a purpose, and that purpose is a greater good. Mia Meltzer in the house. Hi, Mia. If you haven't checked out Mia Meltzer on TikTok, she is your Amazon guru and I'm so proud of her. Just killing it. Good to see you, Mia. Everyone loves Mia. All right, let's go live. Pablo Gonzalez at Connect with Pablo. He was on Podmax. Great CEO of connectwithpablo.com, be the stage.live. My man Pablo, are you here? Is Pablo here? Let me see here. At Connect Pablo. Let me see. He's here. There he is. He's right on time. Always. Perfect. Pablo Gonzalez, thank you for coming live with me. I love you too, Mia. I see you there, girl. I wish more of my daughters would come on. Hey.
David, good to see you, man. This is so awesome. Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, of course. I am so excited to have you and talk about Connect with Pablo and any long-lasting tactics that you have. And I love the fact that you talk in terms of long-lasting, because I think the temporary settlement and the temporary satiation that people get, I mean, I know the personal development world has been working off of temporary emotional attachment and success for a long time. So it's nice to see someone that has that long-lasting success tied to it. You know, you have the trademarked relationship flywheel. How does that incorporate into a long-lasting success tactic?
Great question, man. Listen, I very much believe that we need to live a life that is relationship-based, not transactional-based, right? Transactions come and go. Relationships are that thing that you can go to, that don't go away. They're there forever. And for me, it was a long learning curve of always being super into being relationally motivated, because I moved around 3 different continents before I was 9. But it took me till I was about like 32 to realize that relationships aren't about what I get out of them, but what I give to people, right? Like how much value I can provide. And as I shared with you in Podmax, Dave, my really big aha moment was when my brother passed away and 1,200 people showed up to that funeral. And I realized at that moment that if a community can get us through these really, really hard moments, then community is the greatest value you can give people. So I just set off on this journey to figure out how to create a replicable system for doing that. And luckily, I had gotten really involved in nonprofits, and that's very community oriented, and I got some reps in there. But once I got into the online world, I really started to understand the dynamics of it all. And the relationship flywheel, what it is a way to build upon itself of how you create relationships. You, David, as a relationship builder and as a business builder, you know that in the old days, the number one thing you can do, still today, the number one thing you can do is meet somebody, figure out what they're trying to achieve, figure out who you know that you can introduce them to, and that's the way that you build a relationship flywheel. All I've done is contextualize that to the digital mediums that we live in today, and the idea that the one way that you can really put relationships on scale is to put them on a stage, right? Like if you can figure out somebody's value and you know who is seeking it and you can put them on that stage, then now you can share that value one to many, and you do that really, really well. This is what you do all day long on Instagram Lives, right? So it's creating a system for doing that and really understanding how to do that, and then making it so that this piece of content, the one thing that we're doing to build this relationship, can get the most impact. And the back end of that is recontextualizing it as many ways as possible, turning one 10-minute interaction into 15 different posts that are across different contexts, written, audio, different types of video. And that's what the relationship flywheel is. It's just a way to continue doing that. And as you do that more and more, the more people you connect to each other, the more people you're enabling to follow their dreams, then you reach that 1 million person impact that we're all trying to achieve here, David. I know that you're really, really passionate about, because once you're doing that, everybody that you help doesn't go away. They will forever remember how you made them feel, that you made them feel valuable, that you helped them get to their journey. And that's really at the base of all of it, man, you know.
Yeah, well, you are so aligned, you know, number one, with what I call the stage theory. I know you have your podcast, the Chief Executive Connector podcast, which is part of your relationship flywheel. And I encourage everyone to have such platforms, because the stage theory is what I've created from Shakespeare, right? Shakespeare inspired me years and years ago when he wrote, "The whole world is your stage." And what you're talking about is, hey, with the flywheel, let's capture the content, first of all. A lot of people, when I say capture the content, it's not just IG Live recording this IG Live. It's repositing great lessons and ideas and great stories so that we can empower other people. You know, I want to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. I better know a lot of stories and a lot of lessons, and I better be able to tell them so other people can repeat them and have the same effect, or at least a minimal diminished capacity of what it has. Secondly, you mentioned something important beyond capture, which was modification, right? A lot of people don't get that you just can't repost. And you mentioned, you know, hey, 15 different things will come of our interaction here, but they'll be modified to suit and align with all the different places, from LinkedIn to Facebook to Instagram to Reels to TikTok to all the different places, and part and parcel to that. Then, most importantly, in the flywheel is the reliance on amplification, right? The stronger the frequency, the stronger the amplification. The stronger the frequency, the wider the spectrum. The stronger the frequency, the clearer the message. The more people it will resonate with, the more seeds will be planted, even under trees that you and I probably won't ever sit under. One of the areas that you did mention that I want you to touch on is your perspective of perpetual content. One of the things that I have an advantage over most of the younger, less experienced people is I have the advantage of seeing how content is perpetual, how that things get repurposed, amplified, modified, that are 20, 30, 40, and they have more value the longer, like wine, the longer they last. You know, baseball cards are a classic one. You know, anyone that throws away a baseball card or any type of trading card, Pokemon, basketball cards are hot right now. I think you're foolish. You know, you should be saving, if you have room, all these types of things. But the cheapest thing to save are these great ideas, stories, and lessons that'll be perpetual, because once you do hit critical mass, you know, once you do, people go back and they binge 650 episodes of the playbook, you know, 44 different this, whatever, and they add up fast. You have no idea. How and what strategy does the flywheel, this relationship flywheel, deal with the time of infinity of perpetual content?
I think it's at the core of all of it, man. Like if I could go back and read my grandfather's journals when he was 40 years old and like figuring out whether he should leave Cuba or not, man, I would kill for that. I would literally kill for that, right? So like if you can
or
think
what
of
about your brother who unexpectedly passed away, right?
Dude, I have one video of my brother singing this one Juan Luis Guerra song while we're driving that I watch over and over. Do I wish that I had 10 recorded conversations with him, right? Do I wish I would have sat down and asked him, what do you want to tell your son Danny when he turns 20 years? You know, like I'm going to get emotional talking about it, man. But like, it's so valuable. It's so valuable to leave content as a legacy, to leave your imprint as the things that you thought, the way that you iterated through things have value to other people, right? Like there is this quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson that is, every man I meet is in some way my superior, and in that I can learn from them. Everybody that you talk to, everybody that you come across walks a slightly different path than you. So they've taken away a slightly different lesson from the same moment, or completely different lessons from moments you've never experienced. The more that we can catalog that stuff, the more that we can put that into the social consciousness, to me, that's the solution for bettering this world, right? Like the more that we can add to the collective consciousness. The internet is the closest thing to a physical manifestation of the collective consciousness. If we can all add our own little nugget, man, our own little man. You know, today I learned that 36-degree water, my hands freeze when I'm surfing in around 30 minutes. That could help somebody, right? That would have told me to buy some gloves. You know, little things we take for granted that we already know. So, and to your point, it's all about context, man. Like watching an old microfiche of a newspaper article. Nowadays, nobody's going to do that, right? But if you can recontextualize it, if you can take that, print it, read it, and then put it on a piece of media and quote the author, now that impact continues to live on. There's something that I like to say that is, you never start a conversation with anybody. You can simply hope to enter the conversation and join the conversation happening inside their head. And I see these different types of content mediums as the different conversations, right? So like when you're on Instagram, you're in one mindset. When you're LinkedIn, you're in another mindset. When you're reading your email, you're in another mindset, right? So like the more you can do to contextualize it, the more impact it's going to make. So just starting and reposting, dude, that's better than nothing, right? But if you can repost it, but also format it and then write a caption that makes it contextual to kind of like the mindset that people are in, that's what amplifies it, right? That's what increases that effect. And the more that you can increase every single interaction through every single iteration, that flywheel takes place and it gets bigger and bigger faster.
Now you know why everybody needs to connect with Pablo at Connect with Pablo, connectwithpablo.com. Man, you bring it, and you remember and remind me of one really important lesson, which is we not only need to capture, modify, amplify, perpetuate our legacy, but we give meaning to everything that we see. So this collective consciousness gives us the flexibility to give meaning to what we're seeing. And I want to thank you for giving such great meaning to the things that we share and see together, as you do so on your podcast, on your Instagram, and anywhere people can find Connect with Pablo. Thank you so much, my friend. Let's do this again. You better keep in touch with me, okay?
I will, David. Listen, man, thank you so much for sharing your stage with me. Thank you for the impact you're putting on the world. We need alpha male archetypes like you that are preaching the message that you're preaching, that it's undeniable that kindness wins, man. Thank you so much.
Kindness wins. That's exactly right. Thank you, Pablo, for reminding us. Go ahead at Connect with Pablo, connectwithpablo.com, be the stage.live. This guy knows what he's talking about. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Not that hard. You're making a simple choice, knowing your values and sticking by them, having faith that even though the choice may be hard today, it's going to reap exponential benefits in the future. Let me go ahead and take another question as I wait for Jose here. There's so many good questions. I want to thank all of you for putting questions in here. I see you. Thank you so much. Do you think time alone without anyone is important? Yes, I think quiet time is very important. Meditation to me is a practice of just being quiet by myself. And whether it's a minimum of 2 minutes a day, whether it's a minimum of 2 hours a day, you need every day, 7 days a week. Don't zero out the introspective higher self that you can explore by just being quiet. My guest speaker, Jerry, by the way, his name is Pablo Gonzalez at Connect with Pablo. Thank you for asking. We'll reiterate that. He's up there in the notes, Connect with Pablo, right above you. Go ahead and check him out in those. Let me take another question. I'm looking for Jose Michael. He had a quick question for me. Don't see him in there. Team David Meltzer. Go ahead. Reach out to me, david@dmeltzer.com. 6 a.m. on Fridays, Breakfast with Champions on Clubhouse. 11 a.m. Pacific time on Fridays. Training for free. Every day, the playbook has all the trainings, content. The playbook, download it, like it, share it. You'll love it. How do I manifest loneliness? Being it is a natural, of course. How do you manifest loneliness? I think by paying attention to and giving intention to what you want or what you don't want or what's missing or what other people want for you. If you let the ego-based consciousness succeed in telling us that we're separate, inferior or superior, you're going to feel alone. You're going to feel alone. Bernie, go ahead. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. We'll see if you can get an invite to Clubhouse. David@dmeltzer.com. You get a free book. I'll sign it, send it, pay for shipping. David@dmeltzer.com. You can come to all the training for free. My exercises, guides, including my exercise and guide to parent issues. I call it mommy issues because that's what I got. But I got mommy and daddy issues. You're going to love it. Fridays with Meltzer. Thank you, Christina. Very cool. I don't see Jose here, but that's okay. Jose, can you see by the dawn's early light? How do you get the most out of your day? This is how I get the most out of my day. 1, know my values: gratitude, empathy, forgiveness, accountability, being inspired by what? 5 daily practices. I know my what: personal what, experiential what, giving what, receiving what. I know my who. Who knows where I'm going? Who can get me there? The easiest way to get to where I want to go is what? Find someone that's already there and ask them directions. Know your what, know your who, know your how by being a student. Pay attention to, give intention to the coincidences that you want. That's the mathematical equation of luck. Paying attention, focusing in on what you want, thinking, believing, doing, all in the intention of what you want. Create the coincidences of what you want. The what, the who, the how, and of course the now. 100% of the things you get done now get done. So do things now. If you can't get them done, then use Roosevelt's matrix of importance versus urgency in order to effectuate what to do and what to put in your calendar to do later. And then finally, the greatest practice of my life is to practice ending fear, allowing me to live my life with a lens of productivity, of value, of accessibility to others and connectedness and accessibilities of receiving. What am I accessing? And then finally, gratitude, the ability to find light, love, and lessons in everything, to see pain not as a stop sign, but an indicator, a turn signal to get me to a better place. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, and so are you. So are you. You're just angling to what you want. Just have a little bit of faith or a lot of bit of faith like I do. You're going to end up somewhere better. I promise you. You're exactly where you want. You have everything you need or you wouldn't be here. Now give everything you got. Enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential. Angle to what you want and have faith you're going to end up somewhere better. I promise you, you'll get there faster than you can believe. If you want any more information, exercises, guides, my books on this stuff, it's all free. I'll pay for it, pay for shipping. David@dmeltzer.com. I'll text community 949-298-2905. Trainings at 11 a.m. today, Pacific time. All of these trainings, all of my content, celebrities, athletes, entertainers, media, billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, the playbook, download it, share it, like it. It's on and featured on Spotify. It's featured on Entrepreneur, every platform. There we go. I don't have Jose Michael in the house, but we're moving and grooving. Let's take some more questions. What's something that you're looking forward to? Man, I'm looking forward to seeing my team. I'm looking forward to training today on mommy issues. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about everything today. I am looking forward to today. And tomorrow, I'll look forward to tomorrow. My tomorrow starts today, so that's cool. My tomorrow starts today. And thank you, Bernie, for emailing me. My tomorrow starts at 9 p.m. with an unwinding routine. I'll pin this new message up so we don't let Matthew be half-assed. Orange County, California, Jake. All right. There. I'm going to bring my friend Gina in. She's excited to be here. Oh, I just pinned her comment up there. I didn't mean to do that, Gina. Let me fix that real quick. There. Not my first time, not my first rodeo. Let me see if I can grab that, unpin that, put you up here, and then I do this. Everybody learning how to use IG Live? I screwed that up. Hold on. If you won't mind, Gina, could you please just comment in there? Because it's not allowing me to let you join because I screwed that up. All right. I'm going to bring on my friend and Gina Rivera, at Beauty Expert Gina, and she's founder and president of By Gina and in the Phoenix salons. Let's see, Dougley, how you doing, buds? Let me see here. I'm trying to get Gina back. Give me a comment, Gina. Send me a request. I screwed that up for you. I apologize. I can see you in there, but it won't let me join because I pinned it instead of did the other. So let me take a question while we're waiting for Gina to come back on since I screwed that up as usual. David, 4 things to do in your daily routine for success. 1, have a daily routine. 2, have an adaptable routine. 3, be a student of that routine. And 4, can you request, Gina, because I pinned it, it's not allowing me to do that. Hide story from, I don't know. It screws it up. Jake, can you help? I screwed Gina Rivera up because I pinned it and it won't let me have her ad. So somehow I need to get this thing back because it won't let me because I pinned it. So she needs to send a request, or I need to send a request of it. How do I do that? Won't let me. So I apologize for slowing this down. All righty. I love Instagram sometimes when I'm stocks or property is the question for me. Josh, what's going on? Here we go. Stocks or property for me. Much more tangible, a lot less manipulated. I know more about it. I can find more experts on it, less variables. And remember, real estate is great because our country's laws were all formulated to protect the landowner, not the stock owner. So there's a variety of reasons, as we've seen today, of what's going on. Whoa, I just saw something there. I'm going to get this. Why did that say no? All right. need somebody to give me help. I'm trying to find Gina. I'm going to get you, Gina. Don't worry. I will get you in here one way or another. And hopefully Jake will help me. Nope, it's just not letting me. All right. I'll answer a few more questions. I apologize. Thank you for your patience, Gina, beauty expert Gina. I am not allowed to let you join for some reason because I pinned you instead of did the other. I don't know why. Which of our senses is the least accurate? All five senses are inaccurate, and our memories are even more inaccurate than that. Yeah, Gina, it's not letting me. I need a request sent by Gina somehow. Somebody help me out. I feel terrible. Feeling bad makes no one feel good. Yeah, have her relaunch and come back. Thank you. We're going to get her in here because I'm not a quitter. I'm not a quitter. We're persistent. We've been through this before. Would you recommend a 23-year-old investing in stocks before real estate? It depends on your timing, your risk tolerance, and your expertise. So, in the lessons you want to learn. So those are the things you have to determine for yourself. Look at your timing, look at your risk assessment, look at your expertise and want the lessons to learn. It'll be good. What's the 3 steps to breaking a limiting habit? I don't know if it's necessarily 3 steps to breaking a limiting habit, but there's habits are formed in 3 different areas. One, conscious. So to consistently do something or stop something is the first step. Second is the subconscious. So we want to clear our conscious from that habit when we have desires to do something. If we want to break a habit, that's like stopping is the habit we want to do. All right, here she is. I bet it works now. Nope, it says hide live video from Beauty. Gina does not allow me to do it. Maybe if I pin her up again, let me just try this and see if it'll allow me to add. Nope, won't allow me to add her. I don't know why it won't let her request or me get her. So everybody else is in here. I don't know why, Jake. I apologize, Gina. This happens every once in a while, but it will not let me go live with you. The universe is keeping us apart. It's like Shakespeare. I don't know why. Why do you think your trees you planted are appearing more frequently? What this is referring to is that we plant seeds under trees that we don't even know exist. And now all the seeds that I planted, and I'll tell you why I think is that I've been consistent with my intention for a long time. And I've been doing it a long time. There's no overnight success. And so for me, I'm starting to see trees grow from interns I had 20 years ago, or trainings I did 20 years ago, or jobs that I had 35 years ago, or relationships that I started 45 years ago. Things just take time to grow. Some trees are like bamboo. They stay underground for a long time, then they shoot up. Some are like the mighty oak that grow, take a long time, and some are like hemp. They're weeds. They grow quickly, and immediately we get to see what's going in. Gina, thank you for your patience. We will make sure this works out. And I'll make sure, I'm trying to find everyone in here. Please, everyone, follow Gina because I can't get her, but it's at Beauty Expert Gina, and we're going to bring her on. So don't worry. We'll get it. What are the basic skills an entrepreneur must have to grow a startup business? Well, one, you better have a desire that you'll be what you must be, because that's what it takes. There it is. I got a request. That's working. All right. See? Consistent, persistent pursuit of the wonderful Gina Rivera, and it works.
Hey, sorry about that. I was on
You're
my
well worth it. Well worth it. I'm sure I did something to screw that up. I'll take accountability. So thank you for your patience.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? You're doing a lot better than me, obviously. I still, as much as we've all been home, I still can't get all this technology down, darn it.
Yeah, but you can sure make your hair look beautiful. I'll tell you that once we get them on there. Anyway, you have been in a challenging space. I've been blessed to be in the health and beauty space myself as a consultant and a marketer all around sports. I've even, believe it or not, I was in a commercial for L'Oreal. So I manifested one of the bucket list items. My wife told me, she said, there's two things to prove manifestation works. One, win the lottery, which I haven't done yet. Not for dollars, but win the big lottery. And then two, she said, manifest you being a L'Oreal model. And I did. I was a model for Camouflage for the Gray Away hair product. And now I look younger.
You look.
Anyway,
I know.
Tell me about.
Starting to get stuff gray. I'm not going to have to color mine anymore. It's going to just naturally be platinum.
It's beautiful, and so are you. And you do so many different things to improve people's self esteem. That's really so important. I talk about the inside a lot, but I also believe that we have to learn to love ourselves. And you allow people to love themselves, to show their better selves, their higher selves. And I think physical beauty is also an attribute that helps the inner beauty. And I'm sure you see it every day. I don't get to see that side of it as much, but I don't want to downplay it. So I was hoping that you could explain really what you do and how you've been able to do it through COVID, which hasn't been easy.
Sure. Well, I grew up in the salon industry. I have a heritage that goes back to 1929. I have 27 stylists in my family. My father he has been behind the chair since he was 19. He just retired at 76, and I'm his last client standing.
Did the scissors shake? Is that the problem?
Uh,
I had poor Mr. Bruno, who's my, he had the three-chair barbershop in downtown San Diego. By the way, saved enough money and bought the entire block and probably left his kids $100 million. But they finally, in the 80s, had to take the scissors away because he was poking the only people that sit in the chairs, his family, was poking him all the time.
Oh, yeah. Always giving me new haircuts. And I was always the kid that walked first grade and kindergarten. I didn't want to take my hat off because all these girls had these long, cute ponytails, and I came in with these, the Tony and Tennille haircut.
Yeah, I love it.
I wanted to take my hat off, but no. But early on, I knew that I wanted to be part of the industry. I saw both my mother and my father did hair, and just what you were talking about, just how they made people feel, and just by doing their hair or doing their nails, and the smiles that left when they left the salon. And it was so personal, and it was so intimate. And then at 11 years old, when I was sweeping hair, I was like, it's in my DNA. I want to be part of this. And so I just fast forward. 17, dropped out of high school. I hated high school. You
belong in the movie Grease, right? Beauty school dropout.
Oh, yeah. High school dropout. Told my parents I was going to a friend's house and ended up going to Arizona for the next 3 years. So I'm sure they really thanked me for that. But at 20, I decided, Gina, what am I doing? I got to finish my cosmetology license. I got to go back. I got to get my high school diploma. So at 20 years old, I actually went back to high school. I went back into the classroom at 20, finished high school. At that time, I finished my cosmetology license, and I got my first job. And I was so excited about it. And I was behind the chair one day, and my manager had come in, and she had said, "Hey, Gina, before you leave today, I want to talk to you." And I was just told my client, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited," because, being in the industry, I always felt like I was ahead of the game, and, I was just better than everybody else. And so I just knew I was going to get a raise, right? And so she called me in her office, and she sat me down, and she looked at me, and she said, "Gina, I know that you've been around the business your whole life. I know that your parents, are successful at what they do." And she said, "But I just really feel like I have to tell you that I don't think you have what it takes to be in this industry. And I think that you need to find a new career." And, at 21 years old, and I'm sitting here in this office with this woman that is just so stone cold and telling me that I wasn't going to make it, in an industry that I had been around my whole entire life, that I lived it, ate it, breathed it. But, it was at that moment that it drove me. And I thought, you know, in my head, who are you to tell me that I'm not going to be able to succeed in something that I love to do? And so, you know, I think that was my first thing that I had to overcome when I started, you know, in my career, and where I am today, is get over the, you know, people telling you that you can't, you know, and you telling yourself you can't. And so, you know, once I kind of stopped telling myself I can't, stop letting people tell me that I can't, and stay true to my dream, is when, you know, I really, you know, took it to the next level. I bought my first salon when my son Phoenix was 6 weeks old. I had a new baby. I didn't even know what to do with the baby. And here I bought a new salon, and postpartum to a new level.
That is awesome.
Named it after my son, and I just took over a salon that was in the red. It was just a chair rental salon. And I, well, actually, let me back up. I always say that Phoenix Salon Suites was born when my son Phoenix was born. And what had happened was, I had been in a salon. I was renting a chair. I had an owner, and I was not the owner. And I went into labor with Phoenix 3 weeks early, and I wasn't there to pay my rent. And so she called, and she said, called my husband. She said, hey, you know, where's Gina, Jason? And Jason said, well, she just had her son Phoenix 3 weeks or a couple hours ago. And she said, that's great, but if she wants to keep her chair, then somebody's got to run down her rent check in the next couple hours before I leave. And, you know, it was at that moment that I looked at Jason and I said, you know, I'm not going back. I'm tired of it being about the owners. It's time to be about the salon professionals, have empathy for what we do, how hard we work. And I'm not going back. And that's when I purchased my first salon in 2003. I named it after Phoenix. And I just really started to change the culture, and really, you know, not make it about me or the owner, make it about the salon professional and what their needs and what they wanted. And it was then that a couple of years I found it challenging to be behind the chair and manage a lot of, you know, stylists. And so I went home and I told my husband, I said, hey, Jason, you know, I don't know. I'm just really struggling right now. I want to do hair, but it's hard to manage. And he said, well, why don't you just sell? And the next day I went to work. There was a space, 4,500 square feet, that opened up next to the salon that I had. And I remembered when I was a little girl, my mom used to work in like a small room, and it was decorated and it was hers. Everything in there was hers, and she rented it, but everything in there, she listened to her own music. She had her own towels, and I was a little girl and I used to play in there and pretend like it was my salon. And I said, hey, I remember when my mom worked in a room by herself, and I said, so I think I want to take this spot and build suites. And so Jason said, well, wait a minute, you're telling me on one hand you want to sell, and the next you're opening up a new concept. And so in 2007, I opened up my first Phoenix Salon Suites, 22 suites. It was very challenging. I got slapped with a lawsuit 2 days after I opened. My contractor decided he didn't want to pay his subcontractors. And so spent my first 2 years in a lawsuit that we eventually ended up winning. But in lawsuits, I mean, does anybody ever really win?
I learned that lesson.
Yeah.
And I'm a lawyer. So.
Okay. But it was all good. It taught me a lot. And it was a success. And I said, you know what, I want to do another. And I went 2 miles down the road in 2008, built another Phoenix Salon Suites, 37 suites. So I went bigger. And then the housing crisis hit. And it was not fun. I was losing lines of credit. I was begging, borrowing, stealing to get this to work. And through that time, it was a success. And then it was at that moment that I came home, and my husband, Jason, had his own marketing company. And in his marketing company, he had spent a lot of time in franchise. And I said, hey, Jason, I really want to grow this. And, you know, can you come over and be my CEO and help me grow it? And graciously, he loved me enough to do that. So here we are. I'm getting ready to cross over 300 salons across the country. We just expanded into the UK and in Europe. So yeah, that.
It's a remarkable story. You know, it's so interesting because the real shift in the paradigm was kindness, right? You experienced this abuse and you said, hold on, what if I switch this around and empowered these people? I bet we all could be successful. And I think even during COVID, that's what it's taken to be successful. That you really, you know, there are a lot of landlords, because basically you're a landlord when you're a franchise, you're a landlord. The ones that are kind are successful and growing and learning, and all the great blessings and touches of favor that have, you know, touched our lives and allowed us to share that with others happen. In the scarce ones, the ones that you started your career with, that tell you you can't do it, they laugh at you, scoff at you, make fun of you, and now everybody applauds you because they did that, they're in really bad shape. You know, I have so many people I coach and consult with, and a lot of big landlords, high rises and shopping centers and malls. And they came to me, you know, what should I do? I said, I'll tell you what you do. You go call them and ask how you can help, because they'll never forget it.
Right.
They'll never, those people that are yours will never forget it, especially because I don't forget. I get choked up thinking about, because I lost everything in 2008. The people that did that for me, I don't forget. I'll never forget them. It's why one of the missions, you know, in empowering a billion people, it's funny because your sweet idea is one that I want for single mom. I grew up as a single mom. So I want to take all these big box anchor, you know, the Kohl's of the world that I've lost, and I want to create single mom suites with a common area with technology, job skill training, safety, you know, all cameras. And I want companies like Target to, you know, sponsor, you know, a suite, because I know one thing. And I told them, as I'm presenting this idea right now, I said, imagine a single mom with no food, 2 kids, and you provide a place to live.
Yeah.
Will they ever forget that? Where will they shop when you put them back on their feet for the rest of their and their grandkids? I get choked up because people don't get this.
Mm-hmm.
And you do.
Well,
and like you get all the benefit from it.
I feel lose sight of the relationship. And that's what's important. You know, I think we all get caught up in the here and the now and today's money and today's, you know, gratification. And, you know, life's not about that. You know, life is a marathon. It's about building relationships. It's about creating a culture and a relationship that, you know, like you said, you know, you're doing life with these people 30 years later, you know, and it just, I think it's unfortunate, but I think some people just lose sight of the relationship, and they lose sight of really the heart behind it, you know.
Yeah, well, you've shown that heart, and I'm so glad that you're creating an abundant atmosphere, not only for your family in Phoenix, I'm sure is all grown up now and carrying on the same legacy, but more importantly, all the people you're impacting during these difficult times. We don't forget you. We won't forget you. Those people won't forget you. And your success is just an anomaly to the activity and actions that you've taken. That's for absolute sure. And I am glad that we were persistent enough to make this technology work as hard as you and I work every day.
I talk about kids. They're homeschooling. I should have called them over. They know all this technology. They would have had me on 30 minutes early.
I know. Well, my daughter was on earlier, so I'm hoping that she stayed on to listen and learn from you, because you are a blessing to everybody. Where can people find your salons and you?
Yeah, so you can find me on my Instagram at Beauty Expert Gina. My Facebook is Gina Rivera. And you can always go to the Phoenix Salon Suites website. But yeah, find me anywhere. I'm an open book. I love, you know, meeting people and carrying on those relationships. So David, thank you for having me. I feel so blessed to be on here with you. Just your spirit, keep being you and do what you do, because you're changing lives. So
thank you. You have a new fanboy, so I'll follow you. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
all right.
Thank you. Great Gina Rivera showing us the paradigm of life of taking care of others to take care of others. It'll come back to you. She doesn't give to get. She receives so she can give, and has been giving for all these years. And the blessings keep coming, as they will for you, and they will for everyone as well. You saw me break up a little bit into tears, just proof that I still have these mommy issues going on, which I'm going to train about today at 11 a.m. Join me on Fridays. It's Friday Meltzer Day, 6 a.m. Breakfast of Champions. We had Deshaun Jackson, Grant Cardone. The list went on and on. It was amazing morning. Join me every Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific on Clubhouse, 11 a.m. on every platform. You can always download the playbook and listen to this stuff. Like it, share it with other people, celebrities, athletes, entertainers, billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, and all of my trainings. Like it, share it. It's on Spotify, featured there. Entrepreneur, featured there. You get to meet unbelievable, great people like Gina Rivera, who was on Undercover Boss as well. I'm sure she had to hide that hair or else everybody would recognize her. That's difficult to be undercover with because she is very recognizable and beautiful. So everyone, please, I'll take a quick question. I always like to leave with something good. My boyfriend and his mom are codependent help. Come to my training. I will help you. I will help you. Come to my training, 11 a.m. Pacific. If you miss it, watch the replay on Spotify Entrepreneur. It's the playbook. Download it, like it. Training is in 2 hours and 14 minutes now. That would be 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern time. If it's anything close to the Breakfast of Champions Clubhouse that we had this morning, you're going to love it. I promise you'll love it. Thank you, Gina, for joining me. Pablo, for joining me. Jose, I don't know where you went, but thank you for trying to join me. Everyone out there, please join me. David at dmeltzer.com if you want my books, guys, exercises, all for free. 949-298-2905. Pin below to join my text community. Most importantly, be kind to your future self and do good deeds. I do have a mentorship program, David at dmeltzer.com. Free training, 11 a.m. Friday. Please, David at dmeltzer.com. 2 hours and 13 minutes, 11 a.m. Pacific. I want to see everybody there. Join me. Thank you. Be kind, be kind, be kind. Have fun.